City Jazz Sessions is about great music, arts, and entertainment. We are located in St. Louis, Missouri, and available to performance art lovers worldwide. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. You can email us at cityjazzsessions@gmail.com. Good evening. I'm Leon Davis, along with Magic Man 50, and our guest today is Mr. Mark Harris too. How you doing, brother?
How's it going, fellas?
It's going good here.
Good, good. It's good to hear.
So, part of so you've been on a couple of times, and
Yeah.
recently I saw your video for Pocket Change, and that's my kind of jazz. So I
Right
fell in
on.
love with
Shout out to
that.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I thought, man, we can get you back on and see what the latest is, because it appears that there's some changes. Like, I don't remember that logo the last time that we had you
Yeah,
on.
man. Yeah, it was it's been a while. I can't what year was that? Was that 2018? Like 20 beginning
Yeah,
of
that was like 20. Yeah, it was probably like 2018, 2017.
2018. Yeah, man, a lot has changed since then. Yeah, I got a logo and everything, man. I'm trying to learn from y'all, man, branding and all of that type of stuff, man. You just kind of got to take it up a notch a little
Right.
bit,
Right.
just to brand yourself. So, yeah, I got that made. Talked to some graphic designers, got that done. And then I just started slapping it on everything, man. I'm like, I feel like the more you see it, the more it becomes, a part of you. So like I'm just grateful to be able to have access, to people that do that type of stuff, man.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah, because I really like that that logo. That looked real
I
good.
appreciate it. Cool. That's what's up. I'm glad you dig it, man.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much that was going on that was different. So like the first time that I was introduced to you, I went to see you down at the Kranzberg. Wasn't that the Kranzberg we went to, Warren?
The dark room?
No, it wasn't the dark room. It was a little theater off as you walk in the door on there's that corner where the Boys and Girls Club used to be.
I know what you're talking
theater. There's a little theater in there. And we got to hear you play. And that was the first time I got introduced to you. And I felt like your music was a little it was a little more I don't want to say experimental. It was like you weren't playing stuff that I was accustomed to.
Right.
And so there was
that you weren't accustomed to, right?
Huh?
You said
that I was not accustomed to. Right.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I was learning something new. We were sitting there. This was the early days of City Jazz Session, and Warren and I used to go out into the field a lot and see his stuff. And he was the one that actually introduced, me to you. So
okay, right on. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was the your manager's name at the time? Warren, what was his name?
Oh,
you're talking about
who?
Yeah, James Witherspoon.
Yeah, Witherspoon. Are you still with Witherspoon?
No, I mean, I never really. Here's the thing about that, I never really had a formal manager. James Witherspoon, it just out of the kindness of his heart, honestly, just a lot of the stuff he did, he just did. He just took it up on himself to do it because he believed in me, man. And shout out to him for that. So we never had no formal agreement or anything like that. So it's all love when I see him. I know he's doing some things. He's we still speak. I know he's working on some stuff, trying to bring some artists here to St. Louis. It's been a funny time, with COVID and everything like that. But yeah, that's still my guy. But yeah, no, that he never was really my manager. But shout out to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. We've had him on a couple times. I spoke with him a few weeks ago and I asked him what was going on. He said he currently didn't have any artists right at the time. So, that was a few weeks ago. I see him a lot. He's into those cars, and I see him those classic cars. So that's a passion of his as well.
Yeah, honestly, man, and that's just a testament to how dope of a person he is, man. Honestly, he's done that for a lot of artists. I know he was working with the Coleman Hughes project, for a while, and shout out to
Right.
them guys and Adrian, man, I love him. But he with me anyway. It's always just been, I believe in you. I can speak for you in certain areas, let me help you, type, navigate through. And that's what he did, introduce me to people who could, help me
Yeah.
out. And, even including you all, I think he was the one that told me,
Yeah.
about you all first. So, so
Yeah,
shout
he
out to him
called
for
us
that.
up and said, "Hey, I got this guy I want you to talk to," and so yeah,
Yeah, he's a
connection.
good guy, man. He's a great guy, man. So shout out to him for that.
Yeah. So now, tell me about the group that you're with now, who are groups, if more than one.
Man, right now, I'm still trying to navigate my way as as an artist. But of course, before I was an artist, I was playing some everywhere in the city, like most of us younger musicians do, man. Just trying to make our name and make our way and pay our dues in the city. So I was gigging around with a lot of different artists. Locally and stuff like that. Like a lot of the, people that I'm working with now, have projects out, have websites and have, things like that. So just been able to watch them grow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like I said, navigating as an artist, I've been fortunate enough to play with a lot of different bands, I
Right.
don't want to call them all, if I don't want to miss
Yeah, I hear
nobody,
you.
but yeah, but the Avengers is the clique now, if you will. And that's just me, my friend Charles Quarles, Fred Lamont Patterson on lead guitar, Alex Bruce on drums, Dr. Phil Goodgrave, when he's available, he's an Avenger. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. Rhoda G is an Avenger.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. Andrew Exum, another drummer, he's an Avenger. You know what I mean? So it's just it's a network of people, man. That I've been fortunate enough to work with consecutively and consistently. In my time here.
So now the Avengers, is that a branded name yet, or just
So,
something they use when they hang out?
so the way we got the name the Avengers, actually, we would name that. Shout out to DJ D Flat Major. He's Douglas Coy. He's out in California now, but when he was living here, he coined that name because we were always called to do open mics and different
Yeah.
things like that. And like people would always say when we came in, they knew that they were they were okay, that they were in good hands. We was called to save the day. And so shout out to DJ. He kind of coined that name. And that's just something we've been calling ourselves for about the last 9, 10 years, really. We just kind of made it, something now. But of course, we can't brand it because of
Yeah, yeah,
copyrights, Marvel. It's just something
yeah,
we
that's
call
Marvel.
ourselves. Yeah,
Or maybe
that's just the click. That's the
the
gang.
New Avengers or something like that.
We'll figure it out, man. At some point.
STL Avengers or whatever.
But they got a Midwest Avengers. I just recently found out about.
Oh,
I know some guys who play in that band. Everybody's an Avenger in some sort of way. Everybody wants
right,
to
right,
say it.
right.
But we'll figure that out, man. But right now, that's just what we call us. That's the click. You
Yeah,
know.
names come, y'all figure that out.
Exactly. Yeah, we crossed that
Now,
bridge.
the last time I actually remember seeing you live was a few years ago, actually. I think it was one of James's show
Hmm.
at the Dark Room with the Bosmans. Remember
Oh, at
that
the
one?
Grandel. At the Grandel
Yeah,
Theater.
Grandel. That was a
Yeah.
great show.
The
Great
triple
show.
play. Yeah, the triple
Yeah,
play. Oh yeah, that
everybody
was
was
that
right.
was awesome. That was awesome. Shout out to the Bosman twins too. They just won an award at the Music at the Intersection Festival, a Legends Award.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm share the stage with them.
Maybe we should invite them on one day. I don't know. That
Man,
would be
that's St. Louis legends right there.
yeah. Ronnie
Yeah,
Barrage usually invites people like that because he knows them well and he can interview them
mhm.
a little better than we can. So I'm gonna throw that
Yeah,
name out there to him.
yeah, man. Peter Williams, Mike Shillman. I could go on again. I don't want to get into the name calling, but man, there's plenty of
Right, right.
legends out here, man. But
Yeah.
shout out to y'all too for giving, giving people like us that platform, man. Again, thank you.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys working with us as well, because that's how we develop our brand. Bringing on good talent, uh, exposing and people, reflect back to us. Oh, I saw them on City Jazz Sessions. That gives us a little lift.
Right.
Well, my
That's what's up.
my experience here is I get to follow. So when I was first started buying music in the '70s, I followed the Ohio Players and uh, um, Isley Brothers, and those were my bands. And I had like
Mhm.
every album that they put out, and I followed them. And then when we started doing this, I've started following the new people that because I had stopped buying music for a long period. I listened, but I stopped buying it. I stopped collecting it for myself. But
Mhm.
Right.
I've noticed a slight change in from the first time that I saw you to this pocket change.
Mhm.
And I thought, man, that's it's a great experience, a great feeling. Like I feel like I'm on this journey with you, and
Oh,
so
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, that was it was crazy how that record came about. It was just one of those songs I had just did Traveler. I don't know if you all got that or not. And that did really well for me, but in terms of radio, I kept getting met with well, that's not radio enough, or that's not,
Yeah.
man, it's a beautiful song, we love the song, but
mhm,
it didn't fit the formula that they already have set, if you will.
mhm,
And so I was just like, well, dad, because I love the song, but I kind of understood what they were saying. The more I started listening to radio,
mhm,
there is a formula.
uh-huh,
There
Yep.
is something that there's a criteria that you have to meet and things like that. And so with Pocket Change, I was like, well, let me see if I could just let me try and make something that kind of feels good, but that kind of fits that formula, but at the same time is indicative of what I do. You know what I mean? And
right,
so we did that. I was fortunate to have my friend Bernard Harris, man, a amazing bass player. He was out with he's been out with Mandisa, he's been out with Toby Mac, just
Mhm.
a lot of people. But he came in to do the open air. It was just divine timing how it happened. He came in town. He was coming in town anyway and wanted to do a show. And I said, well, cool. I got an open air thing coming up down at the Grand Dale. I would love to have you come, jam with me. He was like, well, cool. We worked it out. We're able to, get him down here. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna book a studio session. I got a song that I think he'd be perfect, for.
mhm,
And while he's here, let me see if I can get him in the studio. And so I
Mm.
was shout out to Shock City. They opened the doors literally right after we did the concert at the open air. We went to Shock City and we recorded Pocket Change. I tried to do everything in one whop, man. And so when we did it, he heard the song, he was like, I like it. This is with Pocket Change. I went and tried to use my resources and ask people who have songs on radio, hey man, what do you think this sounds like? Or I reached out to Adam Harley, hey man, what do you feel about this? And he was just like, yo man, go for it. And so when I was able to put it out, man, I was just glad at the response. Like when you tell me that that's your type of jazz, I'm like, okay, well I did what I set out to do. Cool, you know.
mhm.
So it was just divine timing, I think, with that particular song.
Yeah. Um, uh, One of the things that caught me about the pocket change was, and I wanted to show that, but unfortunately I couldn't get things to work right today. But that video looks really polished. It looks really good.
It was,
Yeah, the
oh,
video
cool.
for
Shout out to
pocket
the
change.
film legends, man. They got it. You got it together for me, man.
Yeah, it looks
Um, I
really good.
it was like I said, man. Just trying to take things up a notch, man. I understand in the society in the world that we live in, man. We have our work has to be able to be on the same level and or compete with the guys that are you know
Hmm.
making it happen. Not saying that you got to go spend millions of dollars, on anything like that, but just I want to put and I want to be able to put my best foot forward, you know, give the best type of quality, the best type of product that I think that I can do. You know what I mean? And like I said, the reward is when you say things like, "Man, that looks really polished," and that kind of lets me know, okay, well, I'm going down the right path anyway. You know,
Mm.
so appreciate that.
So, how many instruments do you play, Mark?
I mean, if you want to count hands and feet and spoons and but no, about three, you know, about three mainly. You know, piano, drums, and bass.
Okay.
Um, and I just got into bass for real, but it was something kind of came natural, like piano. Those instruments to me, melody, it just kind of came natural.
Mm.
I can't. I mean, it's God, of course, but it just came natural. But you know, I wanted to get into the sax, and of course, I played at it. You know, going to school, we had to take strings, we had to take woodwind, and
Mm.
brass, and B&O, and things like that. So we had to learn how to play everything. But yeah, those are the three primary instruments that I feel like I can hold my own on.
So, piano, bass, and drums.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Yeah. Okay. Cool. I heard you play bass a little bit once down at Troy's. I was down there one night.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, you just picked it up, was kind of playing around because nothing really formal or structured was going on, and you just started jamming. I'm like, oh, you play bass too.
Yeah, man. I remember that. I've met that was when I met Daryl Mixon.
Right,
And
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was
Mix was
giving
there.
me some pointers, man. Yeah, I had, at that point I had kind of just started getting serious with bass. I had always played at it, you know, when I could get my hands on one, but that was when I had just bought that bass actually, and so I think it was like a jam session or some type of
Yeah.
something Troy was having. Yeah, and I was like, well, shoot, it's perfect time for me to, you know,
Mhm.
try it out. You know, so that was
Yeah,
cool.
great.
So how did your Christmas special go? Because I know we tried to book you, and it just happens I reached out to you 3 or 4 days before you were going to do your Christmas special. But how did that turn out?
Oh man, it was great. It was epic, man. It was I'm glad, you know, people came out and supported. I'm glad that people, you know, were able to buy tickets and get in there. I'm super grateful for Adam Hawley and Phil Denny, you know, being able to come in, and Phil Denny more so happy birthday belated to him also. He came in last minute, man. We were actually working out something with Jasmine Gent, and our schedules didn't you know, the schedule and the timing was a little bit off, but I wanted to keep it, you know, three. And so, you know, again, shout out to Derek Jacquest, man. He kind of set that up and introduced me to Phil Denny and Julian Vine. I was able to do that concert at the Sheldon with them, but I kind of built a relationship with Phil, and I was able to call him the last minute, man. Hey, can you come to St. Louis? So he came. So I was just honored to have those two brothers on the stage with me, man, because they are Adam Holly, man. Is, you know, if y'all look him up, man, 7 number ones on Billboard at the same time, most of the time, like this man,
Wow.
man, the dude is, you know, he's won pretty much every award this year. As far as jazz artist, man, he's having a phenomenal year. Great songwriter, great producer, great guitar player, and just a cool cat through and through. And Phil Denny's the same way, man. His stuff is on the charts, on Billboard, and you know, all of that type of stuff. So to be able to have them on the same stage in one setting, I was you know, glad to be able to bring that to St. Louis. Partner with a good friend, Cherish Wyatt. She helped me out with that. In the Kransberg Arts Foundation. Shout out to Chris Ham. They put some juice behind it, and it was a great experience, man. You know, I got to close my own show, man. Finally,
Oh, wow. Wow.
yeah,
So now you did a artisan residency at the Kransberg. What was
I
that like?
did. It was cool, man. It was an experience. You know, it was kind of like one of those. You know, you get out of it what you put into it.
Hmm.
Um, I see the vision. I see what they're trying to do. And they're good people, man. You know, they really care about the arts. That's one thing I will say. They're learning. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about Chris that I've always admired, man, is he's not closed minded. He's really open to
Yeah.
to trying new things and listening to the community and things like that. And so that was kind of what I got out of it. That they were open to let me do my thing and have a place, to play consistently when they were open, until COVID hit. That kind of,
Yeah.
man, COVID did
I,
a number on everything, but I'm
so
not worse for wear.
have you got to do any work or met Keon Harold yet?
We did the music at the intersection, and I got a chance to talk with him backstage, and we shared the stage that night. He, Glasper, and Scooter Brown, and the rest of us. But no, as far as like actually formally meeting him, I haven't met him yet formally. A lot of the Jazz St. Louis guys, honestly, I really haven't met. It's a lot of people that I would say that I haven't met. Not, but I don't know why that is. We just don't. We don't see each other around often. But I would love to, man. One day, go and sit down and talk and get some things. I had my I was I had my mixed feelings about Jazz St. Louis at one point, but I'm in the mindset that if you about furthering the craft and the arts of music, then you good with me, man.
Yeah, well, what I noticed is in the last couple of years, they've had a lot more artists closer to your group and category. They're kind of broadening their um, scope as far as what type of music they have. And with Keon going to be the director now, I think it's going to really be different. So that might be a good opportunity down the line for you.
Yeah, man, like that was my biggest thing, from the jump. It, to be told that we don't do smooth jazz or we don't do contemporary jazz in Jazz St. Louis, kind of it hurt.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It hurt, but I understand. I understand what you're trying to do. It's just how you word that, and it at that time it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way because
right,
I
right.
feel
I
like,
got you.
yeah, we got enough opposition
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
jazz community as it is. We don't need to be bickering amongst each other.
yeah.
And
Well,
that,
trust me, I think they've changed their attitude now.
oh yeah, definitely, man. Shout out to him and shout out to Keon, man. I would love to sit down and talk with bro. He's been all over the world. Him and Jamal Nichols, man. That's my big bro also, man. I would love to sit down and chop it up with them, and I'm sure we will at some point.
So I
Oh,
had a
for
quick
sure.
question. I had
They
a
they
quick.
all work with us, so
Mhm.
they're gonna check this out, and
Right on. Shout out to
hopefully
him.
that's gonna open up some opportunities.
So
Yeah,
I had a
hopefully.
question. Um, is radio as relevant as it used to be? Because I know you were talking about getting airplay on the radio. Are they really as relevant as they used to be?
I'm gonna say no. And I can only really speak to jazz. As far as jazz, I would say it's relevant because that's what talent buyers want to see. They want to see you on the billboards. They want to see you on the charts. They want to see your name in rotations. That's how you get called for festivals and things like that. I mean, but nowadays, because of things like Spotify, I don't listen to the radio as
Right.
often. And then when I do, it's WSIE. Shout out to Jason and those guys. But
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't really listen to radio. It's Spotify, it's streams, it's numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's really a double-edged sword. It's you know you need it but you don't type of thing. It just helps your name value, in my opinion,
Okay.
to be on radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get a lot of hits from guys in my DMs and stuff that sending me their radio stations and what and all, and I'm scratching my head. I'm like, who's listening to radio now? But I listen to Sirius
Right,
XM. I don't even consider that radio though.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody's got.
man, it's a crazy situation right now as far as the music industry, man, because they still don't know what to do. The new tech is constantly evolving every day. People are listening to music all different types of ways now, so
Yeah,
one thing is never the same. So I think they're trying to fight and trying to hold on. And there are still people that listen to radio stations. You get a lot of the
sure.
radio stations that sponsor festivals. You know what I mean? Things like that. And so in that sense, that's why I say it is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
not, I don't think it's necessary in order to be a breakout artist. I don't think that anymore.
No, not for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, I just because my concern here is you are an artist with a lot of unique talents, and I like your music.
Thank
But if we let radio dictate what kind of music you make, because you got to make a living, and so
you. Right.
if they're the gatekeepers, and then they say, well, we don't like your kind of music, that means that's
Hmm.
music that I don't get to hear.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree totally, man, 100%. Um, and again, man, is there are gatekeepers, and but those gatekeepers, I can tell you, are starting to, like you said about Jazz St. Louis, they're starting to be more open minded to things because they see that things are changing. So a lot of these gatekeepers are in turn reaching out to us, or some of the millennials or some of the newer people that are coming up in the ranks and asking us, what what is what, and this and that. So that's that. I mean, like I said, that's a good thing. But to your point, man, that you're absolutely right. That's music that you don't get to hear, and I do feel like that's unfair, to a lot of listeners. But we still have you still have access, to me. It's just not as broad as radio would have it. That's the good thing.
very good. I just don't, I mean, you got to put food on the table. So
That's a fact,
you
Jack.
got to put food on the table. So if your music, if you don't catch on fast enough to where
Mhm.
people get introduced to your other music, then you'll pare down what songs you make based on what you can sell to feed your family. And so I think
Yeah,
that's a double edged thing. It's good that it puts pressure for people to be better because I think when people are under pressure, they work better. They're going to
yeah,
make more
absolutely.
mistakes, but at least they're going to try. They're going to, you know, step out there and do different things. But if you box them
Mm.
in, it hurts. I think it hurts everybody. So I hope that
Yeah,
City Jazz Sessions is one of those outlets that gives people an opportunity to play some of the stuff that uh, that they challenge themselves to play.
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. And more people are doing it. I feel like more people are stepping outside of the box because now they have people like you in a position like you have telling you, hey, it's okay to do so. We like this type of music or we want this type of music. A lot of the times the artists don't know what people want because they only listen to one thing or they only get one thing. So they feel like that's all they want. So in a sense, like for me, and my dad tells me all the time, man, simplify it, simplify, simplify. Do this, do that. Just make it simple. And we used to argue about it all the time. But being older, the older I get, I understand what he's saying. I was told at one point that jazz music makes up 1% of our of the music industry and consumers and things like that. 1%.
Mhm.
Of people that consume music. And out of that 1%, there's like, I think 40-50% of that are Caucasian males and females on their way to work, on their way home from work. That was a demographic that was placed in front of me. And it's like, that can't be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that cannot be true. But, dollars, man, consumer. So it all goes back to that, man. Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's up to us listeners
Yes.
to open up and just be open to something different. I tell you, an artist we just talked about, Al Caldwell. He says he's plays 30 something instruments. I'm like, God. But anyway, he calls himself the Black Hillbilly. You got a brother out there plucking a banjo, and I played it for people, and they actually dig it, man. But they haven't been exposed to it.
Yeah, I mean, like my brother said, it's like this is music that we don't get to hear because radio or the powers that be or the gatekeepers say that's not the formula.
Right.
I've been told that a lot. In my career, and honestly, man, I'm only 5 years in. Honestly, I started about 5 years ago on a journey to be an artist, man, and in that 5 years, I've heard that time and time again. it doesn't fit the formula, or this is the formula, or it has to sound like this, or it needs to look like that. It's crazy.
A lot of listeners are don't want to be boxed in. They try to listen to a variety of things.
Well, I think
So
a lot of
that
artists,
formula doesn't apply to everybody.
a lot of artists want to expand the box because I find more and more since we started doing the show, when you ask people what genre of music you play, I play all kinds of music.
Right.
Because jazz can be considered easy listening. Jazz
Yeah,
can,
Sure.
yeah. So,
it could
so
be funk, it could be
exactly.
R&B, it could be anything. It's instrumental. You know what I mean? It could be anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Can't put
I
it in a box.
like to see those barriers come down because, like I said, you know, there are artists that I thought I would never listen to, like
Mm,
ZZ Top.
mm.
Just the way they looked didn't
Mm.
set well with me. But man, I love ZZ Top.
Yeah, shout out to Marquise Knox, man. He was out with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a dope brand, and that's music that I was privy to, but I didn't really listen to a lot. But I
Hmm.
mean, it's there to listen to, if you want to, man. Nobody's, filtering it and all of that type of stuff. I don't know. It's just a different day and age, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that there are so many opportunities
Yeah.
that we're at a place now where so before
Mhm.
the music companies controlled everything. They
Right.
determined what music got, who got signed.
Hmm.
Nowadays, you don't have to be signed to make music.
Not at all.
They determined what music the people that they signed made.
Yep.
I remember when they would sign people just so that they wouldn't compete with artists that they already had on the label.
Yeah.
You remember that mess?
Yeah.
And so nowadays, if you don't want to be stuck with that, you can actually produce your own music and make your own vibe. Um, it's a lot harder road, but I'm sure you're going to appreciate it a hell of a lot more than somebody else telling you what melodies to write. What you know?
Well, you gotta put the money up. That'd be the number one thing right there for the most people. They don't want that's an investment. They not trying to put the
Yeah.
money up. With a label that offers some people security or a little bit of cushion, that mean that you think, you know what I mean, they getting that money back. They gonna recoup either way, but like they don't want to put the money up, man.
Yeah.
So, what is the hardest part about you making your music?
Uh, the sacrifice, man. Like I said, it is an investment because I'm doing it myself. I'm not signed to a label. I gotta pay for that video. I gotta pay for this studio time. I gotta pay for these pressings and all of this other type of stuff. Um, and I'm not gonna say that's the hardest part because what I've learned through trial and error, in the years that I've been doing it, is that first of all, have a budget, have a plan. Write it down. I'm fortunate enough to have a great wife, who knows how to budget, who knows how to plan, who knows how to write things down. So, I'm able to execute things in that sense. But the hardest part really is not having that machine behind you. You have to be responsible for everything, distribution, how your
Yeah.
music is getting out, setting up appointments, and then on top of that, you still got to make the music. You know what I mean? And make it, something that's not rushed or that's not half thought. You have to try and make it as best you can make it and still worry about everything. Where, as with a label or something like that, it's more of a machine that got people to do that for you. You know. But I mean, other than that, that's the road to me. This road has been it's been hard, but I consider myself to be blessed because a lot of things just kind of opened up, in God's right time. And I feel like just if you do right by people, I've always tried to do right by the people that I, have around me, the people that I play with, my band members, my family and stuff like that. I just try to do right, by people. And I think in this sense that has helped me to become, blessed to have not an easy road, but just, a more clearer path to things.
Sure. If you could book a gig at a venue um, somewhere in the 50 states in the United States, where would you like to go?
Oh man, that is that is a tough question, man. I don't know. There's so many venues, man. I would probably oh man, that's a great question. I'm stumped. I don't know, man. There's so many great I mean, I could say Madison Square Garden and all of that type of stuff, man, but that's of course that's everybody's dream, wherever the Grammys are being held, that would be mine.
Right, right.
But that place and then St. James, man. I would want to go play down in St. James in Atlanta. Just because, I when I was coming up, I used to hear about them all the time. I reached out to them, back in the day, a few times, and to no avail. But yeah, I think St. James would be a nice venue to play at, man.
You got to think big.
Mhm.
You got to think
Absolutely,
big. Dream.
absolutely.
You can achieve it if you can dream it.
Oh man, yeah. And like I said, I've done a lot of things, man, in these just 5 years of being an artist, that have blown my mind and I wouldn't have believed to be so if you would have told me that 6, 7 years ago. I'd have been like, yeah, right. But it's just been a great road, man. But yeah, definitely dream big, man. Strive for the highest.
So if you could pick one or two dream players to play in your band, who do you think you would like to play with?
Najee,
Najee.
uh, yeah, Najee, and man, there's so many cats. I would say Najee and man, man, it's uh Chris Bodie.
Okay, okay.
I love to play with Chris Bodie.
My neighbor was talking about Chris Bodie the other day. He kind of likes him.
No, man, yeah, he's a phenomenal trumpet player, man. Like he does great work, man. Again, I was a fan of him. Like it's so many people that I could name that I'm a fan of that I would love to work with. Um, but I guess the cool thing about it is now, at this point, like I've been fortunate enough to work with some of those guys, so it's cool. 2022 is looking up, man. It's looking good.
Well, that's good.
So
That's good. Just keep in touch wherever you go, and
All
we'll
right.
definitely give you a shout out and support
Yes,
you.
sir. I appreciate that, man. Thank you again, man.
Oh
so
yeah,
Really good for the platform, man. Honestly.
so I
yeah.
so I
I
watched the
just
video.
I'm still hiding away right now. Me and Leon.
I
Go
watched
ahead,
a
Leon.
video of you playing. Um, uh, you played two keyboards. One you had around your neck with a long. It looked, and you were in the
Oh,
kitchen.
Keytar.
Yeah, guitar. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So you do a lot more of that, creating your own videos and stuff and posting them.
Uh, yeah, I haven't really got into it like I want to. I'm behind in that sense. So just trying to learn live streaming and video and stuff like that. How to make content. How to make
Hmm.
good content. I keep it a buck. I'm still learning.
Okay.
And so I'm researching that. The best ways to do that type of stuff. But I definitely in 22 plan on doing more of that, sharing more content of just at home playing and just sharing some of my ideas, with people or whoever may be interested.
Hey, follow Laker. She does a
Shout
lot of
out to Laker.
she posts a lot of stuff. You could probably get a few tips from her.
Definitely. I'm gonna ask her, see what I need to do.
Yeah, she's always posting.
Hmm.
So now you mentioned
Solid, man.
you mentioned Jasmine Gent, and I kind of
Jasmine James. Yeah.
Gent, is that how it's pronounced?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I reached out to her and I haven't heard back from her. So since you said you played with her, I'm gonna yank on you for a little bit. Maybe you can give me an in with her.
Nah, nah. She was supposed to come, but our schedules. She's busy, man. She's doing her thing, man. She's out here killing it. I'm hearing about her all the time and on the different billboards and charts, man. So she's traveling and doing all of that type of stuff. She's all over the place, man. So yeah, I'm not the guy to.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, whatever road in I can take. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ride on somebody else's coattails because they don't know.
Well, yeah, we still working. Yeah, we still plan on doing something and trying to bring her to St. Louis. So, man, as soon as we able to work something like that out, trust me, you'll be the first to know.
Oh, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because we want to grow this little bit of we want to grow this little bit of earth that we're standing on, and make it beneficial for the artist, and hopefully we can as a symbiotic relationship, we get something out of it. You guys get something out of it.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Did you have anything else, Warren?
Right. No, that's about it, man. I'm just glad to have my brother back on and that he's doing well. And just keep us posted, when you have gigs and stuff. And if you got flyers or anything like that, we can definitely put on the scroller.
We can post them on our City Jazz Session
social media. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
One thing I did want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, we say.
One thing before you did go, I think we had talked about that you had gotten COVID while you were out.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do was give you a chance to talk a little bit about that before we let you go. I don't know if we.
Yeah, man. Well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No,
talk about it.
I was just saying. Yeah, man. Of course, like we all the world kind of knows, what's going on now with COVID, man, and how it's impacted us, man. It's very real. I think we put that to bed a while ago now. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. And like I said, unfortunately for us as entertainers, and that's kind of our job to be around people, and not just entertainers, but hospitality people and nurses and things like that. It's out here, man, and it really doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I was one of those people at first when they had the vaccine where it was I was like, I'm not getting it, or let's just say I was at the back of the line, when it came to that. But after having gone through it, man, and just experiencing it for myself, and hearing the stories of people that are in the hospitals and things like that, get vaccinated if you can. I can't tell you what to do or how to think. I can only just say that, for me and mine, we are, and I believe that it's helped us. You know what I mean? I feel, I don't feel worse for wear. You know what I mean? You still have those after effects, or you still feel things, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like it could have been worse. So protect yourself, and thereby protect your family, man. Make sure that you get vaccinated, man, because right now, the way things are going, man, 1 minute it's up, the next minute it's down, and it's up again. We don't know how to navigate, through this thing, but we just know that we have to get through it at some point. And so, just protect yourself and the people around you, man. That's what I say to it.
All righty, Warren.
I couldn't agree more. We got to protect ourselves. I was very vaccine hesitant at the beginning myself. And after I started looking at the numbers and listening to the doctors and some of the science explained, I just said, you know what? I'm not young. I want to live for a little longer. So I'm going to go ahead and get the vaccine to increase my odds to hang around, watch my great-grandchildren grow up.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, Mark, tell them how they can follow you, and then we'll get out of here.
Certainly, man. You can follow me on Facebook at Mark Harris II Official. You can follow me on Instagram at Mark Harris II. Go to my website, markharrisjazz.com. That'll keep you, updated on what's going on, what events we got coming up, any new music coming out. Yeah, man. And then, that's that.
I appreciate you coming on, brother, and hanging out with us. And
I appreciate you having me, man.
We're definitely going to have you back.
Take care, Mark. We'll definitely have you back in the future.
Man, absolutely. I'll be glad to be back, man. Just let me know anytime.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Peace. City Jazz Sessions is brought to you by St. Louis City Jazz, a 501c3 company dedicated to music education and appreciation. The CEO is Magic Man 50, and for more ways to connect with City Jazz Sessions, visit cityjazzsessions.wixsite.com/St. Louis. The City Jazz Sessions team includes host, content director, and guest coordinator, jazz great Ronnie Barrage. Follow Ronnie at ronniebarrage.biz. Host, website designer, graphic artist, content director, and guest coordinator, singing sensation Leica. Discover more about Leica at leicamusic.com. Additional production services are provided by Lions Den Productions. Go to thelionsdenstl.wixsite.com/home. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more great content.